Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 10th episode of Soulful Branding Live with Lulu. So, last year, my mentor gave me a real good dose of tough love. You know, the kind that you need to hear, but you're a crying mess nonetheless. So, I'm sure you're wondering what brought this about. I'm going to tell you. So, as a person with so many interests, it's hard for me to focus on just a few. Professionally, I do several things. And even personally, I'm the person who struggles with having a hobby because there are at least 10 things that I want to regularly be doing. So it's just impossible to sustain so much at a high and meaningful level. Add to the challenge of also sustaining yourself, whether that's financially, physically, mentally, etc. So mastery can only come with focus, and focus has been my mission. Slowly but surely, I've been culling what I give my time to, but it is hard. Emotions get in the way, distracting, shiny objects get in the way, and fear definitely gets in the way as well. So you might be over there wondering, what does this have to do with soulful branding? This is Soulful Branding Live after all. And may I add one more thing for you to question, the role of self-care in all of this. Um, and it is, after all, self-care and self-love month in our Afri-love is 10 celebrations. So I've got to inject that into this discussion. It actually took me a long time to write this episode because even though I intuitively knew all these things are connected, I couldn't quite articulate properly just how, but I think I found a way, and today I'm going to try. So before we get into it, in case this is your first episode, my name is Lulu Kitololo. I run a graphic design and illustration studio, a festival called Afri-love Fest, and a business club for women called the Afri-love Connection Club. And I truly believe that creativity can change the world. So I'm passionate about inspiring people to harness their creativity in building businesses and lives that make their hearts sing. In 2017, I launched the Soulful Branding Challenge, an online course designed to help people find their voice, find their tribe, and deliver to them the special magic that only they can. And since then, I see soulful branding in play in many areas of business and life, and this series exists to explore those. So the application of all I'm sharing today is also a work in progress for me. But one thing is for sure, I have completely bought into the fact that to achieve my long-term goals, I need to do less, but better. So there are three things I want to specifically talk about. One, the danger of being multi-passionate when it comes to soulful branding. Two, how self-care can help you focus. And three, how self-care can help you create more soulful branding. So on the danger of being multi-passionate when it comes to soulful branding, perhaps danger is a strong word, but I use it to convey the seriousness of the situation. It's serious. And trust me, I know from firsthand experience. For starters, you can check out my blog on the power of finding your voice, which I've put in the show notes. And I'll save the full discussion for a whole other episode. But soulful branding is ultimately about finding your voice, finding your tribe, and connecting with them to deliver the value they need that only you can provide. So let's look at each of these things in turn in the context of being multi-passionate. Finding your voice. Your voice is ideally a clear, cohesive expression or presentation. There needs to be one message that you're getting across in order for connection to take place. I talk more about this in episode 1 of Soulful Branding Live with Lulu, which tackles thinking about what you want to be known for. And I've put that link in the notes too. It's rare that a person is known for excellence in several different things. So the second thing, finding your tribe. Again, it'll be difficult to draw people towards you if you yourself are all over the place. Think about it in a literal sense. If you're literally all over the place, how can I pin you down long enough to connect with you? And the third thing, connecting with your tribe to deliver the value that they need that only you can provide. It's hard to deliver great impact when you're trying to deliver many things. It's hard to give an above and beyond user experience when you have 5 of them that you're trying to craft. As individual human beings, we just simply have limitations. So, how is it that self-care can help you focus? Do you know who you really are? Are you in touch with what you love? And are you aware of what truly makes you tick? And how do you discover these things? I believe you do that by giving yourself time to explore and to enjoy what makes your heart sing, also known as self-care. In the book Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown, please forgive me if I've mispronounced that. He talks about your highest point of contribution being the place where the following things meet: what inspires you, what you're good at, and what need is not being met. The first of these, what inspires you, is totally something that can be explored by practicing self-care. What are you drawn to? How do you want to spend your time when there are no expectations of you? He also speaks about changing your mindset to one of less but better, and about the importance of things such as play and sleep on this journey to less but better. Both play and sleep are activities which, in my mind, constitute self-care. Adequate sleep and rest means your energy, your creativity, and your problem-solving ability won't be compromised by fatigue. That means you're likely to make better decisions, especially when doing the one thing that we multi-passionate people struggle with the most, which is saying no. So, what the hell does self-care have to do with branding? As it turns out, more than I realized, and part of it indeed ties back to play. From the same Essentialism book, the author writes, "We are built to play and built through play. When we play, we are engaged in the purest expression of our humanity, the truest expression of our individuality. Is it any wonder that often the times we feel most alive are moments of play?" I don't think so. I believe in order to present or express ourselves authentically, which is what soulful branding is all about, we need to get in touch with those things I spoke about earlier: who we are, what we love, and what makes us tick. So while self-care includes the basics of taking care of ourselves, the adequate sleep, the good nutrition, enough water, and so on, there's a whole other dimension to taking care of ourselves that's often considered indulgent or a luxury, but that's actually very important. And that's our emotional and mental well-being, very much part and parcel of this bigger picture. When our emotional and mental well-being is well taken care of, we're more present, we express ourselves better and more authentically with all of our light shining. So, this applies to our lives, and consequently, it presents itself in our personal and or business branding too. Thus, it's important to think about and then make time for activities that nourish our emotional and mental well-being. If you're struggling for ideas, check out some of the things that I and others are doing and suggesting for the ongoing Just For Me challenge. If you're in the Afri-love women group, you can search the hashtag Just For Me challenge, all one word. And you can also visit the blog post in the notes, which has further ideas. So I talked about my own self-care routine in the previous episode, episode 9. And today, after about a month and a half following it pretty religiously, I'm experiencing results which I feel are directly linked. So these include greater productivity, not feeling rushed, feeling that I'm in control of my time, more time for reflection, strategizing, planning, and then acting on those plans, more confidence because things feel like they're working, better boundaries and also better assertiveness about my boundaries, and better decision making, which includes better discrimination, which leads to choosing less. So ultimately, I feel that I'm showing up for myself and for the world in the way that I want to, in a way that feels good, in a way that feels true, in a way that feels soulful. So over to you. Can you relate with having multifaceted problems? Are you in need of streamlining and focusing? And yes, how is this all affecting your soulful branding? Please feel free to share your experiences and any questions in the comments below, and we can keep this discussion going. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share. And stay tuned for episode 11 next month. It will be around the theme of community, but of course, it's always about soulful branding. So if you're a member of the Afri-love Women Facebook group, it'll air here on Thursday, the 19th of March at 2 p.m. East African time. Thanks for listening and see you next month. Bye.